Good morning. My name is Reid Hester, and I'm the Stewardship Chair for Heritage Universalist Unitarian Church. I'm excited to welcome you to the pledge campaign for our 2020-2021 fiscal year, which begins on July 1st and will carry us through to June 30th of next year, 2021. This pledge campaign is coming to you over video because, as many of you are, as all of you are, we're all hunkered down in our homes right now, and we can't be together in person this Sunday for the kickoff of Stewardship Sunday, as I would much rather be. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This isn't the first time I've recorded a video for a pledge campaign. The last time I did it was about 5 years ago, when I was traveling for work and I couldn't be in the sanctuary for Stewardship Sunday. This year, things are a little bit different. I'm not allowed to travel for work. We're not traveling at all for work right now, and I'm required to be here at home and not able to be in the sanctuary. And in that last message, I looked back at what I talked about when I last recorded a video message. I actually talked about something that we're all kind of experiencing right now, which is the tragedy of the commons, or what economists call the collective action problem, whereas individuals, we make decisions that might help us or benefit us just individually, but actually hurt society. So if we go out into a group right now to do something that we might need to accomplish individually, we could actually be hurting society if we're spreading a virus that, as a society, we need to all sort of come together and behave differently for a period of time in order to get on top of it and get control of it. I think there are some commonalities to what we need to do to support our church when we make individual decisions that might feel like a sacrifice, a financial pledge, but really they are in support of a broader goal, a community goal, allowing us to do something together that we can't do just by ourselves. And so maybe this is not a bad time for us to really think about how we're making decisions as individuals right now in our broad society, and how we're making decisions as individuals in our church community that might be a personal sacrifice, but are really supporting a greater good in our church. Without you, there can be no us, and without your support for the church, we can't do all of the great things that we have the potential to do now that our congregation has reached a size of nearly 200 members, which is really remarkable. And when I think about our church community, that growing number of members that we have, I really don't think about the financial side of it. I don't think about the money that people bring to the church. What I think about when I think about what represents Heritage the best, really what Heritage is all about, is it's storytelling. We are a community of storytellers at Heritage, from our candles of community every Sunday in our church service to things like stories for all ages. We love to tell our stories to each other. It's how we come to know one another. It's how we learn from each other. It's how we grow. And so I'd like to bring that approach and that idea to this year's pledge campaign. The story of Heritage begins with you. And actually, I think now is a more important time than ever for us, as we're all sitting in our homes and not able to be together in the ways that we would really like to be. This is the most important time for us to share our stories. So as you are making your pledge this year, you will have the opportunity to share a story of what makes this church meaningful to you, a story that I would like to think of as what delights you about our church, what makes you thrilled and happy to be part of our church community, whether it's coming to Sunday services or attending other groups during the week. What is it that makes this church community important to you? So when you are making your pledge this year, you'll actually have an opportunity to share a short experience that I will then share out to the whole community over the course of the pledge campaign, so that I can share not only how are we doing financially as we work through the pledge campaign and work towards a pledge goal, but how are we doing as a church community, and what are the stories that people have to tell about what makes this an important community for all of them. So more about that when I get into the logistics of making your pledge this year, but I hope it'll be something that everyone will enjoy contributing, not just financially, but really in a meaningful way to what the church means for them. Let me talk for a moment about what our priorities are in this year's pledge campaign. We are looking to increase our total pledge goal by about 10%, from $221,000 as our pledge amount for this year to an amount of $243,000 for 2020-2021. That is just the pledge portion of our overall budget. One of the main goals that we have for our 2020-2021 budget is to rebuild a maintenance fund for our church. Our building is aging, and we do have a few maintenance needs coming up. We anticipate things like potentially a new furnace. We're looking at the roof getting a little older from one year to the next, and we're not sure when that may need to be replaced. So while we're not expecting to have all of those expenses hit at one time in the next year, we need to start setting money aside proactively so that we have a fund for the maintenance of the church that's ready for us to dip into when we need it. We're looking to set aside $10,000 in the next fiscal year to build that maintenance fund and have it ready. As always, we are looking to support our staff at Heritage and give cost of living increases that are based on guidelines from the UUA, based on the size of our church community and the experience of our staff. Our senior minister, Reverend Bill Gupton, our assistant minister for religious exploration, Leslie Woodward, our church administrator, Denise Martinez, our music director, Les Tacey, our choir director, Steve McCamley, our new nursery caregiver, Dina Tran. All of these amazing staff keep our church running and keep us all connected as a community, and we want to make sure that we are honoring and awarding them with the experience that they bring to this church. So that's another major part of every year's pledge campaign. And as we talked about with last year's pledge drive, we're constantly looking to make sure that we have the right balance between the pledge dollars coming into the church and the amount of money that we seek to raise via fundraising. And so we just want to make sure that we're able to raise our pledge amount in a way that is making pledges really the main support for the church and not over-rely on fundraising dollars. So that means a little bit of that increase that we ask for is to help us kind of not have to rely too much on the fundraising side, but really rely more fully on pledges to support the day-to-day operation of the church. Now, this is the second year that our pledge drive is fully online. So you will go to huuc.net, not just to see what's happening at the church on a day-to-day basis, but to also submit your pledge. Just as you did last year, everyone will receive an individual email with information about your current pledge and a recommendation or a request for what increase you might consider giving for the next year. There will be a link right there to the pledging website where you'll fill out a secure form on our website submitting your pledge. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the key differences this year in that pledge form is that we're also not just asking for a financial pledge, but for you to share a story or an experience, just a brief anecdote. And those who share a story, I will take that as implied permission that you're willing for me to share it with others so that I can share, again, not just how are we doing financially, but how are we doing spiritually and through our stories as a church community. I'd love to see, I'm looking forward to seeing those stories and being able to share them with the whole congregation over the course of this pledge campaign. I will be sharing a separate video with some more specifics and logistics so you can see that website and see how to go online and share your pledge or make your pledge for this year. So look for that in a separate video. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support of this church community. Any questions that you have, you can send to huucpledge, all one word, huucpledge@gmail.com. Thank you very much, and I hope everyone is doing well as we stay safe in our homes, and I hope to see everyone soon.